A uachtaráin agus a coide. Prince Philip and I are delighted to be here and to experience at first hand Ireland's world-famous hospitality.
This is the painting from St. Patrick's Hall at Dublin Castle on the 18th of May, a state banquet when Queen Elizabeth and the Irish President Mary McAleese hosted a wonderful dinner. The highlight is the number 1 table, which had David Cameron, the Queen, Enda Kenny, President McAleese. When Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth spoke, she uttered a number of words in Irish. People were amazed. She said, "An uachtarán agus a card the gale," and immediately there was an outburst of applause.
Well, I felt that this was the most important moment of the whole visit, when the Queen and President McAleese arrived at the Garden of Remembrance. And they were remembering and commemorating the Irish men and women who died in the fight for Irish freedom.
Finally this evening, an artist from County Clare says it will be a dream come true when he hand-delivers one of his paintings to Buckingham Palace on Wednesday. Michael Hanrahan from Lahinch was the only artist accredited to cover Queen Elizabeth II's visit to Ireland earlier this year.
It singles out an important moment in Anglo-Irish relationships during that visit, and I'm thrilled that that's the painting that she's going to have. I saw a very official looking letter with the royal stamp on the back of it, and I said, wow, this is important. And I went down quickly and I saw that Her Majesty will be very pleased to accept my painting. I suppose it's every artist's dream to have a painting in the biggest art collection and most valuable collection in the world. So it's a huge occasion for me to fly to London and travel to Buckingham Palace and bring my painting that I would know will be hanging there for many, many years to come. Oh! I thought that was a wonderful opportunity, and I wanted to deliver it personally to the palace. So I took my 3 daughters and my son, and we flew by Aer Lingus, and we arrived at Heathrow Airport, and we were transported in a Bentley. And we arrived at 12 o'clock, midday, for the official handing over of the painting. Wonderful day for the family.
And the Queen accepted one of my paintings, so it's now hanging in the royal collection.
A uachtaráin agus a coide.
The state banquet at St. Patrick's Hall in Dublin Castle. That painting was completed here in my studio, and Christie's in London wanted to auction that painting, so I was delighted when they took it and included it in their auction on the 29th of May 2012. It's the first time that Christie's have taken my work, and they actually took 2 paintings, and it was lot number 547 Michael Hanrahan State Banquet at Dublin Castle. So they guided it at 3,000 to 5,000 sterling.
Again, it's here. The Michael Hanrahan at £3,200 at the moment. Madam? Thank you for the bidding earlier. At 3-2 then. Here it is. Sian, now's your chance.
Two paintings depicting the visit of Britain's Queen Elizabeth to Ireland last year have been sold at Christie's auction house in London. Michael Hanrahan's painting, State Banquet at St Patrick's Hall, Dublin, sold for £3,250.
It was purchased by Ross Lewis of Chapter 1, and Ross Lewis was the man who created the menu for the banquet. So he had a real purpose in buying that painting. It's now hanging in Chapter 1, and Chapter 1 is beside the Garden of Remembrance. So I was thrilled that that painting arrived there. This is the State Banquet in St George's Hall in Windsor Castle. Michael D. Higgins went over to Windsor, to the UK, last April.
At Windsor Castle tonight, a moment when history pivoted towards the future.
It was the first official state visit of the Irish President to the UK. So I decided, having already presented the Queen with a painting 3 years ago, that I would record this visit on canvas. I wrote to the President, I wrote to the Queen, and the Queen wrote back and said, gave me full approval to paint the scenes, and she said she wanted to see the work when it was finished.
We who inhabit these islands should live together as neighbours and friends, respectful of each other's nationhood, sovereignty and traditions.
The Queen is addressing an audience, a selected audience of 150 people in Windsor Castle. The Irish President, David Cameron, Enda Kenny, all the top dignitaries were at it. This is the State Banquet. The other one is the Irish President speaking at the banquet. And the third one is the horse-drawn carriage procession with the Queen and the Irish President travelling in the Australian state carriage.
A grand state occasion, but behind the symbolism is a story of real historical significance, of a changed relationship between two nations.
It was in April and they had the Union Jacks, the Irish tricolour, and thousands of people witnessing this important visit.
Very short here. She was my sorry. She was only a beginner. I was only a baby.
I'm sorry. Yeah, very lovely. Just a couple of words. Michael Hanrahan is my name, and I'm absolutely thrilled that you've come along to share a drink with me. And I'd like to thank you first of all for the support that you've given me in the last 8 years since I retired from being a bank manager. Okay, and that was some hell of a job to get out of that one. But, that painting was the painting that I presented to the Queen in 2011. Okay, 3 years later, our President Michael D. Higgins went to London. The Queen wrote to me and she said, "I want to see the work you do after that visit." So I did 3 paintings. There's one of them. The State Banquet in St George's Hall in Windsor Castle. This one is the Michael D. Higgins speaking at the State Banquet with the Queen and Prince Charles. And the third one, which I'm going to unveil in a moment, was the horse-drawn carriage at Windsor on the first day of the visit. I sent to the Queen photographs of the paintings, and she wrote back, and the letter is there, and she said she would like to have the painting of the horse-drawn carriage. This is the one that she selected. As you can see here, perhaps you would consider sending the painting of the horse-drawn carriage procession. So she wrote thanking me for the offer of the gift and saying she would love to have the horse-drawn carriage painting.
On the line is Michael Hanrahan. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, John.
And tell me where you are this morning and where you're headed.
I'm at Shannon Airport, just checking into a flight to Heathrow, and I've a piece of artwork with me that the Queen has selected. It's one of 3 paintings that I did of the visit of our President to the UK last April.
Buckingham Palace. I was here 3 years ago when the Queen accepted the painting of the Queen and the Irish President at the Garden of Remembrance, and this painting relates to the Irish President when he visited the United Kingdom in April. So it's the painting that the Queen selected herself. And it's
how many did you say you sent?
I did
3 again.
3.
Yeah.
And it's the horse-drawn carriage procession at Windsor, and it's. I'm thrilled with the painting, and I'm so delighted
nice
that
painting.
it's going into the Royal Collection.
Imagine, hopefully we'll see it hung up somewhere, pride of place soon enough.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
It's an impression of the importance of that occasion. And they actually travelled in the what's called the Australian state carriage. It was to be renovated for the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, but it wasn't ready, but she used it to take the Irish President to Windsor Castle.